right when that ball went up, I knew it was going to stay in the park. I saw Garv going for it, and then that thing just really came back towards home plate like hard, and you're supposed to call it, and I didn't call it, to be honest with you, because I saw Garv was kind of like right underneath it and everything like that, and that thing just kind of really took off on him, and I'm just glad I was able to be there for him.
Welcome to the Top Step presented by Warrior Injury Law. If you are injured, contact attorney Rob Edens at 253-WARRIOR Battle Tested. How are you going, mates? It's Ryan Rowland-Smith. Welcome to another episode of the Top Step. We've got a great show today. I go down to T-Mobile Park and hang out with Miles Mastrobuoni and dive into his unreal journey and what's different about being a Seattle Mariner. Look, he's been to a couple different teams, so I'm looking forward to diving in with him. Plus, I make a case for a Mariner for the All-Star game maybe you've overlooked. He's having a good year, but you may have overlooked in regards to making a push for that American League All-Star spot. On Eyes on the M's, we do How to Speak Australian. But before we get into all that, we've got a big announcement. Friday, the 27th of June, we will be at the Hall on Occidental, right by T-Mobile Park. I'll be joined by my mates over at Marine Layer Podcast. You know the fellas. They do an amazing job. We'll be recording an episode for the Top Step, then hanging out, watching the Mariners take on the Rangers. So come hang out with us. We'll be there at 4:30 p.m., recording right up to the game, which starts at 5 o'clock. Mariners are on the road. So come hang out. You can, answer your questions, have a couple beverages, have some good food. That's at the Hall on Occidental. So go check it out and come join me. Come hang out with me. Watch the Rangers take on the Mariners. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to the show, for all my breakdowns, extended interviews, live tapings, and more, follow us at the Top Step TV on X, Instagram, and go subscribe at YouTube. We can get all the past episodes and everything else. Ask me questions, play How to Speak Australian, and all the good stuff. Okay, so who is that one Mariner that you may not realize has a pretty strong case to be an American League All-Star? Look, Cal Raleigh, he's a lock. Julio's pushing up on the votes. But I got one guy that you may have overlooked. So let's break it down on this week's Eyes on the M's, brought to you by King LASIK. Hey, mates, if you're ready for freedom from hassling with glasses and contacts, do what I did. Go to King LASIK. It was the best decision I ever made for my eyes. The procedure was easy, and it was over in under 15 minutes. Start with a free Zoom consult at kinglasik.com. All right, so it's that time of year, all-star voting season, where fans naturally lean towards their favorite guys, and some of the big names get a little extra push nationally, right? Some of the flashy numbers, I get it. But let's take a closer look at a position that is really, really competitive. Someone who's not just having a strong year in a Mariners uniform, but someone who absolutely deserves to be in the All-Star conversation, and that's J.P. Crawford. Now, look, shortstop, it's loaded. The American League, especially in the American League this year, you've got Bobby Witt Jr. naturally coming off a breakout year, elite tools, great defense, top 5 in just about every major category. And then there's rookie Jacob Wilson hitting a ridiculous 368 as we see here today. So he's hitting up there in the 360s. No one's really even close to that. And by the way, somehow leading the American League in for shortstops in slugging too. So there's also that. And of course, Jeremy Pena, look, doing Jeremy Pena things. He's such a big talent, consistent. He's clutch and near the top in most of the statistical categories. We're talking top 3, top 5. But here's the question. What about JP? Does he have a legitimate case? Now, let's break it down. Batting average? All right, so JP ranks 3rd as we speak right now, behind Jeremy Pena and Jacob Wilson. So there's the top 3. Hits, top 5 among AL shortstop. But here's what I think separates him. Obviously, the on-base ability. It's so important. He's at the top of the lineup, right? The walk percentage, I mean, it is night and day by a mile ahead of any other shortstop. On-base percentage, yep, number 1. He's getting on base more than any of these guys in that position. OPS, so on base plus slugging, he's 3rd, only behind, of course, Pena and Wilson. And the big one, and this is a really big one too, when you talk about some of the advanced numbers, WRC plus. That's weighted runs created plus a fantastic all-in-one offensive stat. Well, guess what? JP is 2nd, right behind Jacob Wilson. So, yeah, look, there's some big power numbers out there. Obviously, Bobby Witt's going to be up there. You got a couple other guys. Zach Neto is up there in power numbers as well. but I'm talking about Jacob Wilson, Jeremy Pena, and Bobby Witt Jr. And JP is amongst them all in some of these offensive categories. And look, the league is full of young studs. I get it. But if you're looking at all-around value, plate discipline, clutch at bats, the consistency at a premium position, JP Crawford deserves serious all-star consideration. So when you're filling out those ballots over the next few weeks, think beyond some of the names and the highlights. I get it. Look, you kind of go down that sheet, and Cal's an obvious one. You vote for all your favorite players. Then you may have to look around the league a little bit. Think about some of these numbers we just pointed out for J.P. Crawford. Man, he is having a huge year in the Mariners uniform, but he's also doing it nationally. And by the way, he's also a massive, massive presence in that clubhouse. I know that's not the stuff that gets votes, but it is huge. JP's having a killer year, and he really deserves to be in consideration for being an American League All-Star and going to Atlanta. All right, that was Eyes on the M's, brought to you by King LASIK. Coming up, I head down to T-Mobile Park, having sit down with Miles Mastrobuoni. He's having a great year. I'm looking forward to talking about his journey. Don't miss it. We're coming right back.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ann, who broke her leg in a trip and fall accident.
I had broken my femur and I was in horrific pain. We chose Warrior because they had a good reputation. I wasn't just a name, I was a person, and that makes a big difference. I'm just grateful that we had the settlement for my care. I'm very pleased.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Olympic Hot Tubs Honoring Heroes event raised $25,800 for Alliance for Education.
I'm pleased to present them with this check.
This means so much to us, knowing that we have allies in the community like Don who care so much about creating a public education system that's quality to make the city of Seattle the quality city that we all want to live in.
I'm so honored to partner with Olympic Hot Tub, who does so much for our community. Do what my wife and I did and take your family's wellness to the next level with a soak, sauna, plunge, or swim from Olympic Hot Tub.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
All right, welcome back to the Top Step. It's time for the San Juan Seltzer interview. I've got Miles Mastrobuoni with me on this episode. I'm so excited to talk to you, Miles. I've talked to you here and there, but just getting to know, your story, where you were the last couple of years, breaking in. I feel like you found a home here with the Mariners.
Oh, it's been great here so far. Everyone's been super welcoming right from the minute I got over here. So that plays a huge part in just kind of settling down and everything like that. And, getting up to Seattle here, fan base is amazing. City's beautiful. I mean, look at what we got today. And, just excited to be here.
Where do you spend most of the time in the off season?
Now it's Florida.
Why is that?
So I came up with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
I grew up in California my whole life, 23 years. My parents are from the East Coast, Jersey and New York. Italian, Irish heritage, and they moved back about end of 2000. Back to Jersey in 2017. So we made our way back up there and be with family and everything like that. Right. We were the only people in our family out on the West Coast, and so just coming up with the Rays, ended up falling in love with Florida. Yeah. The weather. Off-season wise, just spending some off seasons up in Jersey. Not too much of a cold person myself, so I met my girlfriend down there and everything, and the rest is history.
That's awesome, man. Now listen, this off season, you signed with the Mariners. You had time. You mentioned you came up with Tampa Bay, then you had some years with the Cubs.
Yep.
How did you get to the Mariners? How did all that happen? When did you sign with the Mariners, and how did that go down?
Yeah. This last offseason, I ended up getting DFA'd with Chicago in January. And, that was the first time in my career that I went through that. So, not having a job is a little scary for a second there. But, just super thankful that the Mariners saw something in me and wanted to take a shot on me. And, like I said, just being so welcoming and coming in and being able to just kind of relax. And they got a really good group here, staff-wise, and, the guys that are in that locker room. So just able to go out there, do my thing in spring, and join this club at the start of the season.
What was the first conversation you had with the Mariners once you found out that you were coming here? Who contacted you? What was besides your agent, someone from the team?
Yeah, it was actually kind of crazy. I was working out, hitting at the time, and in between rounds, I usually don't check my phone too much, but just kind of within that period, you're checking your phone just a little bit more, see if you see anything or something like that. And I had missed call from my agent, text from my agent, missed call from the GM over in Chicago, text from the GM over in Chicago. So I'm like, oh, okay, there's something must have went on.
Okay.
Justin ended up calling me and welcomed me to the team, and told me the stuff that they liked in me and the reason why they wanted to grab me. And yeah.
Was there that feeling of like, man, this team actually wants me, and there is a place for me on this team coming straight out of camp?
Yeah, I mean, you always get that feeling whenever, a team picks you up or something. And, I told Justin the same thing. I appreciate you guys and seeing something in me. And I'm going to give you guys everything I got, right? Like, that's kind of just my MO. I'm going to go out there and give it 100%. And some days are going to be really good. Some days are going to be really bad. You're hoping for the really good ones all the time. But unfortunately in the sport, they don't come too often, you deal with a lot of failure and everything like that, but it's been good. Just trying to be myself when I came over here, not trying to be someone that I'm not, and I think that's what allowed me to play my game during spring and show these guys what I got.
Were you doing that when you were with the Rays or the Cubs? Were you trying to be someone you're not? Did you fall into that?
Sometimes you do, even over here, sometimes you do. Like, I felt like at the beginning of the season, I fell into it a little bit. That's just your competitive nature, that's your side of, you feel like there's always more there, you know what I'm saying? You're always trying to get more. The thing that's kind of crazy is when you realize that and you take a step back and you let your kind of athleticism take over, that's when the more kind of picks up. So, it's hard to realize that at times, but when you do, I think that's when the best comes out of you.
This segment is brought to you by Olympic Hot Tub, a daily soak in a saltwater hot spring spa, a swim in an endless pool, swim spa, or a therapeutic session in a Tylo sauna. Other ways Olympic Hot Tub can help you feel, live, and be better. Start today at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. All right, let's get back down to T-Mobile with Miles Mastrobuoni. Do you ever get to a place where you feel like you're comfortable at this level? Or do you all constantly feel like you're looking over your shoulder or you're stressed about something? You know what I mean? Because, look, when I played, man, like there was times where I was having success. There's a lot of times where I sucked too. Oh, my God. And it's just so stressful. Like my mum would come to town and I'm like, she goes, oh, this is so great. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, because you're not playing. Like I had to have to come here, and she struggled watching games because she's just like, at what point are you going to get either DFA'd, sent down, whatever it may be. I mean, do you ever get to a place like, do you feel like that now with this team? I'm not saying that like, you're worried about getting moved off the roster because you haven't. You're feeling I feel like you're filling such a void with this team. Even playing third base just the other day, and I want to get to that play you made. Thank you. But I still, when I say that, I'm like, it never gets to a place where you're like, oh, I'm dialed in. I've got this figured out.
Here's what I'll say. There's always a guy coming, right?
Right.
Wherever you're at.
Yeah.
Pitcher, position player. There's always someone coming. If you take a day off, if you just relax for just a second, maybe that could be that time, right?
Yeah.
But also on the flip side of it, you just got to focus on today, right? Focus on today, focus on getting better, focus on what can I do to help the team win tonight, right? A lot of those things sometimes you can't control. Obviously if you're not playing well, that's probably never going to help your cause. But, I really do believe that if you give your 100% every single day, you can really look yourself in the mirror and be like, look, I gave it everything I got, and unfortunately, maybe this just wasn't my time.
Right.
I do really believe in right place, right time. You got to have some luck on your side in this game. You really do. And so, I try and look at that. I don't try and get too caught up in all those kinds of things and thinking about all this and that, but just really focusing on just one day at a time. What can I do tonight to help this ball club win? Because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
I want to go back to last year real quick. There's a couple times you got optioned down, called back up. Two sides of that. Tell me about some of the conversations when you go into the office. Is it when you have that meeting with the manager and they're talking about, they're sometimes they tell you what you want to hear, or they're trying to give you the most they can. So when you go down, you're full of confidence and you're ready to go when you come back up. What were some of the things that were said to you when you were sent down? And is it something that, if a team says, look, we've got to make a roster, but what are some things that they said to you? And tell us about that feeling, man, when you go in, have that meeting with the manager, and the days after that. Because I remember it, man, back in the day. It sucked, because you have that meeting like, okay, I'm going to be okay. And then day 1, day 2, day 3, you're like, oh, man, I feel like I am the odd man out. Yeah. How am I going to get back?
Yeah, that's obviously tough, getting sent down. Your dream is to play in the big leagues and stuff. So when you get sent down, you get a little bit of that ripped away from you. What the attitude that I always looked at was, you still have an opportunity. Yeah. You still have an opportunity to go down there, play every single day, get that rhythm back, get that confidence kind of back instilled in you. You know that you can do it, but sometimes you need to just show yourself again and again that, all right, I still do have it. And, it can be tough at times, but that's why this game will challenge you. You got to be mentally strong. You got to be able to deal with the kind of ups and downs and the ebbs and flows. And I keep reiterating it, but taking it one day at a time. If you get sent down, all right, I'm going down there. I'm going to work on this, and this, what I feel like I wasn't doing well while I was up here, and just show them that I can help the ball club win when they call me back up.
Now, on the flip side, you're in AAA and you're starting to rake, and it works both ways. You have that feeling like, oh man, one of these days. Were you one of these guys who would watch the big league team every day and find out what everyone's doing, or the guys who are in front of you essentially, or taking your spot?
I'll be honest. I'm 100% truthful with this. I don't.
Really, dude? I couldn't help myself, man. I was a mess.
I know. It's hard at times.
Right.
I definitely check in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got guys that you just want to check in on. You got buddies that are up there and everything. You just want to check in, see how they're doing. But I really not tried to get too caught up in all that. I really tried to just focus on the things that I needed to do. Because at the end of the day, some of those things you could be raking and you're not getting called up. You can't control that. You know what I'm saying? What you can control is still continuing to show up every single day and work hard and go out there and do things, even though you're down in AAA, do things to help that team win.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at KingLASIK.com. King LASIK. See life better.
Olympic Hot Tubs Honoring Heroes event raised $25,800 for Alliance for Education.
I'm pleased to present them with this check.
This means so much to us, knowing that we have allies in the community like Don, who care so much about creating a public education system that's quality to make the city of Seattle the quality city that we all want to live in.
I'm so honored to partner with Olympic Hot Tub, who does so much for our community. Do what my wife and I did and take your family's wellness to the next level with a soak, sauna, plunge, or swim from Olympic Hot Tub.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ed, who suffered a neck injury in a highway pileup.
Had a bulge disc in my neck. It was pinching my spinal cord, so reached out to Rob. It was amazing. Their whole team were honest and kept me informed, like they were actually interested in helping me, not just a number. I'm very pleased with the outcome. I would definitely choose these guys any time of the week.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Welcome back to the Top Step, mates. It's brought to you by Warrior Injury Law. If you're injured, contact attorney Rob Edens at 253 Warrior. Battle tested. All right, let's get back to Miles Mastrobuoni at T-Mobile. This year, going into spring training or making the team, what are some things about Miles Mastrobuoni that have put you at this place to say, you know what, now this is who I am as a player? Like, what are some things, like call them upgrades, or some things that you had to make sure that you had going into this year to be a guy who's here every single day and filling the spot that you're filling on this team?
Yeah, I had to take a big step back after last year. I struggled a decent amount last year in the big leagues and down in the minor leagues. So I really had to take a step back, and I really had to be truthful with myself when I looked in the mirror and tell myself, like, yo, these are the things that you need to change. Or
what were some of the struggles?
Yeah, just not being consistent.
Yeah.
Not being consistent. You know, I pride myself in consistently having good at-bats, getting the barrel on the ball. You know, I've shown that I can slug a little bit, but I've had kind of trouble showing that a little bit here in the big leagues and everything like that. But just being myself, what is that? Having a good at-bat, putting the ball in play, putting pressure on the defense, walking, right? Steal bases, do things like that to get in scoring position. One of the big things I really looked at this offseason was just getting back to being handsy. Getting handsy at the plate, not trying to do too much in a sense. What we kind of just talked about earlier was not doing too much allows me to, you know, fulfill those needs of slugging, or if the case may be. You know, I still need to feel like I can do a little bit more of that. But you know, I'm just going to let those things kind of come.
Is that something, just real quick on that, is that something where you feel like you have to drive the ball more because that's what pays, right? Like, I mean, guys who drive, like I remember Stephen Kwan going into spring training last year was like, yeah, you know what, one of the best bat to ball, obviously, and that's his game, but he's like, oh, I want to hit for more power. Then all of a sudden, a couple months in, he's like, oh, this is not me. Is it like kind of like inherent pressure?
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
Slug changes games, right? Right. So, you know, you want to do that, right? Everybody wants to do that, you know. It kind of is, it's one of those things that puts fans in the seats, right? They want to come here and see the monster home run.
Yeah.
Understanding that, but also understanding what you do really well. Understand that those are going to come. There's times during the season where all you're hitting is singles, you know what I'm saying? You're walking a little bit. And then there's times in the season where you go through where all you're doing is slugging, your doubles, you're hitting homers, like this and that. And so you got to kind of understand those kinds of things.
Right.
You know, when those are going on, when say you're just hitting singles, whatever the case may be, like understand that you're having great at-bats. There's no reason that you need to change anything or anything like that, knowing that that's just what comes with 600 plate appearances in a season.
All right, that play you made on Sunday was ridiculous, man. I mean, because for a couple of reasons. Number one, you got the sun. I don't know if that's. I'm trying to think of what time of day it was. It's around this time, right? You had the sun, like the bright sky. You got Mitch Garver, who like is about to fall over you, right? And plus two, like you have to be aggressive on that play. So at what point coming in from third base, when you're charging in, you're like, oh man, I have to get in here. I got to make this catch. Not to mention slide underneath that catch and make a sliding catch.
Right when that ball went up, I knew it was going to stay in the park. This field, the ball's come back big time. I think the wind kind of plays off that left field foul pole.
Right.
I don't think you really feel it too much while you're on the field, but when that ball gets kind of above the stadium, I think the wind really kind of gets a hold of it. Like I said, balls come back, I think, here a lot more than other parks, which is kind of, that's part of just how some ballparks play. I saw Garv going for it, and then that thing just really came back towards home plate like hard. And I think I watched the video a couple times, and you can see me kind of peek up at it, look down at Garv, and I just felt like I was on that angle of where the ball was kind of coming down, and you're supposed to call it, and I didn't call it, to be honest with you, because I saw Garv was kind of like right underneath it and everything like that, and that thing just kind of really took off on him, and I'm just glad I was able to be there for him.
And now, Miles, I've kept you too long. Before I let you out of here, we've got to do the How to Speak Australian, brought to you by the Kangaroo and Kiwi. The Kangaroo and Kiwi is an Aussie pub. It's in Ballard. It's unbelievable. One day, if you're cool enough, you'll go there. I'll put you on the VIP list. But all right, listen, you're 5'10"?
Yeah.
Or you can say 5'11" if you want.
No,
5'10".
5'11" with cleats on.
Yeah. How much do you weigh?
185.
Okay. So if we were to play rugby league, now not rugby league, they're different. Now this is a multiple choice. I'm going to put you to the test. Would you be at your size, and you got speed, you're agile, you move around, would you be a prop, a 5'8", or a fullback?
Definitely not a fullback.
What do you got?
I'm going to go prop because that sounds like it's the smallest guy on the field. And when you think about prop, they're usually smaller.
Okay, all right. Now listen, you can play along on social media at the Top Step TV, and you can play along. Would Miles Mastrobuoni be a prop, or would you be a 5'8"? Now I'm going to tell you, just for the episode's sake, you'd be a 5'8". A prop's like a front row, the big dudes up the front who just push. They do what's called the hit-ups.
I should have known it was going to be the opposite.
That's all right. I don't expect you to know either. You were talking a little bit of rugby before we jumped on. You said you played a little bit back in the day. But that was How to Speak
an American version.
American version, soft version of it.
Yeah.
Well, Miles, this has been awesome, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we love having you here. I love watching you play, man, how dynamic you are, and you just feel such a void for this team. And that catch was epic. I just kept going on about the 3 innings up there, so it was good,
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, that's all we've got time for this week on the Top Step. Remember, 27th of June, that's a Friday, the Hall on Occidental. We will be there. We're going to be recording at 4:30, leading right up to the Rangers-Mariners game. We're going to be sticking around for the game as well. I'll be hanging out with you, having a feed, having a few drinks at the Hall on Occidental. It's right by T-Mobile. Come join us. Me and my mates from the Marine Layer podcast. All right, that's going to be fun. We'll see you there Friday, 27th of June. All right, mates. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week right here on the Top Step.